back home in Maryland, about to get tatted at Heavy Hitters with my guy P.Lok. So come check it out.
How would you say the difference, like the experiences from, like you were saying, going into someone's apartment, like just random, versus like working with him?
It was different but similar. I mean, when I first went to him, and he was in his old spot and around the area at College Park, so it's like it was still like a certified area, but like in like the shop was like mad professional, you know. Like all of them were. Like, it's similar, but like seeing him now and this one's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's like his own, you know, their own like. You know.
But bro, if you would have seen the last spot, it was like a trap house.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was like, they had several businesses in there, so you had to go up some steps. And then when they would smoke, they would hotbox. And it was tiny, it was like a L shape. It was like only 3 chairs in there.
Yeah.
So this is like a big upgrade compared to the last one.
Hell yeah, congrats.
Yeah, thank you,
And
bro.
what was like obviously that's a huge jump.
Yeah, no,
Like
it is.
investment, like, you know what I mean, believing in yourself to open up your own shop and stuff.
It's
What
a
was
lot.
like the final like deciding factor for you to be like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it?
I think the team, me wanting to have like a bigger team, something nicer. It was always like the end goal, but I feel like I was always waiting until something happened to like either I got more money or I don't know, just something happened. And then one day I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like the team's kind of outgrowing the shop. My brother was my apprentice and he was already starting to like, you know, tattoo fake skin.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, if he starts tattooing, we're not gonna have any space in here for anybody. So that's when I really started getting serious about trying to find something bigger. And honestly, this space, it was a huge jump because the rent's like 4 times more expensive than the last one. But I was like, with that, you know, we got the podcast studio in the back now, we got more space. And it just gives you like, I feel like it gives the clients like a ease of mind walking into like a professional shop where they're not, you know, scared of like what's going on downstairs or
what's ever going on.
Yeah.
No, it's nice as hell in here.
Thank you, bro.
I've been in a lot of shops. This is nice as hell.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah. And it's also like betting on yourself, like you said.
Yeah, not for sure.
4 times the rent, but it's like, you know, you're moving up as well. As your spot's moving up, you're moving up too.
Right.
So, like, I'm sure 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you told yourself you're gonna have an NBA player sitting in your shop. You'd be like, nah, no fucking way.
That's true, bro.
But there's levels.
Yeah. And I think the last time when I did that one at the old shop, you weren't even in the NBA yet, right? You're still building
I
up.
was in college. Yeah, I was in college at the time.
And how did you guys link up? Like, how did you meet him?
So a guy I trained with, Myron Flowers, who does my like strength conditioning here. He like went to him first, like before, and he's like, man, I saw some of his work on him, and I was like, man, that's quality, you know. And then he like put me on, and then Myron, he also works me out, Stefon Diggs and Trayvon Diggs, so they all went to him too.
Okay.
So I saw all their work. And Myron's work, and I was like, yeah, I gotta go. And he's like from Maryland, like 20 minutes down the road. I was like, yeah, I gotta do it. It's crazy.
And was that your first? What was like your first for you? Like where you were like damn, like that guy just hit me up.
It was Stefon Diggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember at the time when they hit me up, bro, I didn't even know who he was.
Really?
Yeah, and that's because I
Stefon
don't.
Diggs is huge,
I know,
bro.
but that's because I ain't follow football. I ain't follow anything like that. So when they hit me up, I was like, is he in the Redskins? Like I don't know where the fuck he is. And then the dude started explaining. It was his camera guy who put me on. I met him up at like a food spot that he was eating, and then after that, tattooed him, and he just started hitting me up like all the time. So I tattooed him, his brother. I tattooed his other brother too, and then I gave his mom her first tattoo.
That's dope.
I met Aiden Diggs, so it was cool. Met the whole family. He was probably like the first one though.
Where you were like, damn, like.
Yeah, he was still in the Vikings too, so it was chill. That was before he got that Minnesota Miracle where he like blew up.
Yeah.
So it was nice to do that. I was pressed. I walked inside, I was like, let me not act like, you know, I'm fanboying. Went in the bathroom and I was like, yes. Yeah, bro.
Well, that's I always say though about the NBA, like you get to show off your tattoos so much more than every other sport. Like because you have the like collar jersey, your whole collar's out, your arms are out. Like if you don't want to wear arm sleeves, you don't have to. When I was talking to PJ, he said he used to wear a left arm sleeve. He got his arm blasted, and now he's like, I moved it to the right. He got his right tatted. He's like, I moved it to the leg. You know what I mean? He wants to show off his tattoos. And then for you too, it's a small court, where like the pictures you get, like you're always seeing his tattoos now.
Yeah.
Every time there's a picture of you doing anything on the court, you see the great shots of your
true.
ink on an NBA court.
Yeah, that's true.
So like how like surreal is that for you to, you know, you're looking
yeah.
at just the Atlanta Hawks, you know, Instagram page.
Yeah, and it feels
it's
good,
your
bro.
work.
It feels good. I think that's with like anybody that I tattoo, honestly, like any athlete, you know, you kind of look for that. I think if anything, that's what made me follow sports a little more, because I was like, I tattoo so many, so let me start, you know, kind of keeping up with the game a little more, yeah. But it feels nice, like when, you know, you're watching it on TV, I kind of like watch it with the whole fam.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I tattooed him, that's the guy.
That's fire.
But it feels nice. I think you have a point though about the NBA showing them off more though, because they wear like, you know, the jerseys that kind of cut off at the arm. And in the NFL, they cover up like completely, so you don't really get to see it that much.
There's certain guys that like fit tattoos to the jerseys too. Like Damian Lillard is like one that comes to mind. He has stuff that like fits, like he literally has one that like it looks like he got tattooed with the jersey on. Like it fits so perfect on the side.
That's true.
And it, like just if you compliment like a jersey or just like whenever tattoos compliment like aesthetically like your body, like your, you know what I mean, your shoulders, they just fit good. They look so much better.
I think a lot of them kind of plan around that though, right? Like you kind of want whatever you're gonna put to be visible a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, some.
Well, your logo probably looks sick.
Yeah. We did the Thunderbolt too to kind of show when he's wearing a jersey.
Goes right on. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I'm just like glancing, looking at you, looking at different things.
Yeah.
How do you find, or how are you like, okay, that's the image I want to use? Like, how do you finally decide on something? Because I feel like I would be the most indecisive person ever when it comes to that.
So I'm using what he already has, because they threw like laurel leaves in the back, but they kind of look like spikes.
Okay.
So I'm thinking I can use that as like a shadow and then just make it bigger. I started looking up like other laurel leaves just to get an idea, and I'm thinking of adding like the olive, I think it's olives that they have
at the
on
end of them,
So I'm thinking of doing some of that. Really just trying to fill up the space so that it covers the whole pec. But I'm not trying to sway away from what he has already, so that I don't have to, so it doesn't look like a cover up. It kind of looks like the same tattoo, just done correctly. But yeah, that's really it. Just trying to use what he has, but make it look more realistic, I guess you could say. Yeah. I feel like for me though, the way my brain works is I gotta stare at it for a while.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay.
Well, I was gonna say, but is there ever a time, I feel like whenever I do anything, like when I'm like editing stuff or doing any edits, whenever I look at something like an hour later, like it will always change how I feel about it.
Yeah.
So do you ever do that where like you're doing something and then you look back and you're like,
Yeah.
like maybe I should have done, you know what I mean? Or,
Nah, I do that a lot. With this one, I started messing with like the laurel leaves around it. And then I ended up putting it on a separate layer because I'm like, I might not even do that.
Yeah.
So like everything I'm drawing right now, I might leave it out, but I'm just kind of freehanding to see if I can get like some type of flow going onto it. And then, you know, I might use it, I might not. I'm gonna see how the panther lays on the skin. That's like more important to me right now.
How like free flowing and like trustworthy, I guess that would be the word, are you when it comes to like you going to him with ideas and like him being like, all right, like why don't we add this as well?
Yeah. Oh, very trusting. I usually just give him like literally my idea, but and then he just kind of freestyle the flow of it, like to make it flow. Like he does a good job of, you know, helping it flow. You know, I kind of give, and sometimes we do stuff along the way too. Like if I have more space than I thought, then I'll use different things. But I usually give him a theme. Like, yo, I want my childhood this, or like my first this, like my first dog, my first car, like. Stuff like that. Then we got it's a good feel for like what we want, you know what I mean? But I have like a bunch of ideas, but I make sure I always come with like more than enough ideas.
Yeah,
so that,
I think he's pretty good at that. Because there's a lot of people that tell me like they don't know what they want, and then they'll give me like one thing, but when I'm showing them stuff, they're like, nah, I don't like that.
Yeah, and then you sit there for hours doing
exactly.
That. Yeah.
But I feel like he's pretty good at like if he doesn't like it, he's like, what if we do this instead?
Okay. Yeah, which makes it easier because you're bouncing off ideas from each other.
Yeah.
And how for you when you first started with like, you know, NBA guys, NFL guys, stuff like that, how hard was it to realize like, or get yourself to realize like, hey, this is just another client? Because I know even with me, right, like I'm talking to Sadiq right now, we're just chilling talking. But like in the beginning when I first started, when it was the first episode, stuff like that, when I started talking to NBA guys, obviously it's like I'm way more nervous coming in, you know, saying something versus me talking to one of my boys. For you as a client, like if you're sitting there talking to a regular client, you're able to be like, hey, I think this is a stupid idea. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that because I know it's not gonna look how I want it to look.
Right.
How do you, like in the beginning, how did you kind of get yourself to realize like, all right, like I can still say this to him even though he's, you know, an NBA guy, he has this following.
One thing I've noticed about athletes, bro, is that when they want something that they like really want, they're like set on that. Like it's kind of hard to like change their mind. But what I try to do is just, I guess, give them different options, or if I really don't like it, I'm just like, I don't think it'll look good, bro. And a lot of them like understand, but some of them will even be like, I just kind of want it. Like, I don't care if it doesn't look good or not. It's more for me type shit. But I feel like some of them, it is hard to convince. At the beginning, I used to be kind of afraid. I'm like, I don't even want to tell them I don't like it.
That's what I'm saying. So that's tough.
Yeah.